Hey, Jennifer, you made it.
Hi, yeah, I did.
Good. See, do you have any, your turn, I guess.
Um, I was wondering if it's a stolen concept, maybe like in the debate, the socialists tend to do this. When we say force, we mean force from other people. And they try to use it like nature forces me to eat. They try to twist it into meaning that.
This is an ancient debate, and I can't remember who was the first to use this concept of, maybe it's Isaiah Berlin, the concept of a hungry man. You can't be free on an empty stomach. That freedom is the possibility of doing what you want to do. And in a sense, many of them, when they're honest, will say, well, you can never be free because you're not free to fly, but you should be free to fly because that's what you want to do. But the idea that you're not free on an empty stomach, because if you're on an empty stomach, you can only do one thing, which is go find food. You can't indulge in intellectual debate. You can't go and go on vacation. You can't do a million things because all you have to do. So yes, so there's a sense in which
in a concentration camp,
in a concentration camp, in a concentration camp, you're clearly not free. So they accept the fact that you're not free under real coercion, under force, but then they expand the concept to include nature. So what nature forces you, in a sense, that one of the kids at the second debate, the one in Austin, Texas, one of the kids got up to the microphone and said, I don't understand why when I graduate, I have to go to work. I don't want to go to work. I want to go and, I want to do my arts, and my art can't pay for itself, but I want to do my art. I don't want to work. And it's like, and if you're forcing him to work, you're limiting his freedom. So one of the things I'm doing now, a lot of my talks, is I'm saying, look, everybody claims they believe in freedom. Freedom is an undefined concept that everybody adopts. So I try to define it in all the talks. And I say freedom is the absence of coercion. It is a state in which you can pursue your rational values free of coercion. Right? That's what freedom. So there's a positive and negative. Negative is the absence of coercion. The positive is pursuit of value. Why you have the absence of coercion in pursuit of value? But it's the absence of coercion. It's not whatever you feel like it being. It's not doing whatever you feel like. It's not doing whatever you want to in any given point in time. It is the absence of physical force or fraud. It's the absence of force on you. And the fact that we are hungry is a state of nature. And as all animals have to, when they're hungry, they have to go work to produce, to get the food that they need. We happen to have a particular way in which we have to produce the food in order to, but that has nothing to do with freedom. Freedom is a requirement in a social context. And it's not imposed, freedom has nothing to do with nature per se. It has to do with our relations with other people. And the potential interference of other people in our ability to produce the food so that we're not hungry. It's hard for people to comprehend that because they're so inculcated with these false ideas.
I find myself in debating with friends and such. I like to say that most ideological debates are primarily debates over the definition of terms. And I really think Ayn Rand, I think she consciously realized that, and if she didn't, she implicitly realized it. People get hung up all the time on her very precise but different definitions for terms. I'm glad she fought for them.
Oh, absolutely. But I think I don't think it's the definition per se, it's the meaning, right? The definition is important because you set the terms. But, one of the points that she makes about selfishness is the world would hate this no matter what word I used, right? What they hate is the content. What they hate is the idea, not the fact that I'm using a term that they associate with lying, stealing, cheating, or whatever. It's the idea of pursuing your own self-interest. It's the idea of that is what is offensive to them.
She did make excellent use of this concept of the package deal, though,
Yes.
which is a way she saw of smuggling crap into the definition for words in order to poison them.
Yeah. So Greg here has a definition of liberty that he and Onkar used at conferences. He says it's the condition in which an individual's ability to live independently, supporting his own life by his own effort, in accordance with his own judgment, is secure from interference by others. Yeah, I mean, yes, I mean, I like that. I might quibble about interference just because I worry that that's too broad, but I'm sure Greg and Onkar have a great reason for using interference and not coercion. But you know, but the basic idea is freedom is to secure you for be able to pursue your values based on your judgments. So that's what freedom is about. And it's amazing to me how even in almost every concept, this goes to your point, Jim, you have to fight. There's almost no concept that there's a common understanding of what is being discussed and debated.
And to begin with, I wonder if I can ask you to capsulize. I know this is difficult. Can I ask you to capsulize your philosophy? What is Randism?
First of all, I do not call it Randism, and I don't like that name. I call it Objectivism.
All right.
Meaning a philosophy based on objective reality. Now let me explain it as briefly as I can. First, my philosophy is based on the concept that reality exists as an objective absolute, that man's mind, reason, is his means of perceiving it, and that man needs a rational morality. I am primarily the creator of a new code of morality which has so far been believed impossible, namely a morality not based on faith.
On faith?
Not on faith, not on arbitrary whim, not on emotion, not on arbitrary edict, mystical or social, but on reason. A morality which can be proved by means of logic, which can be demonstrated to be true and necessary.
How does objectivism differ from the philosophies that many of us have been exposed to in our youths? Philosophies based upon religions, theologians, dogmatists.
The very first difference, objectivism tells you that it is not right, it is not proper to man to take anything on faith. Religion is a matter of faith. You accept a religion emotionally or because you were born to it. You have not chosen it rationally. What objectivism will tell you is that reason, man's reason is his basic means of survival. That is the most important faculty which he has, and he has to guide his life and make his choices by means of his rational faculty. He has to make his own choices, but he has to know how to make them. It is immoral for him to act on his emotions, to be guided by the whim of the moment. That objectivism holds as very wrong, very immoral. And morality, in fact, consists of following your reason to the best of your ability. So that rationality is the basic virtue from which all the others proceed.
My morality is based on man's life as a standard of value. And since man's mind is his basic means of survival, I hold that if man wants to live on earth and to live as a human being, he has to hold reason as an absolute, by which I mean that he has to hold reason as his only guide to action, and that he must live by the independent judgment of his own mind, that his highest moral purpose is the achievement of his own happiness, and that he must not force other people, nor accept their right to force him, that each man must live as an end in himself and follow his own rational self-interest.
Tell me the value of selfishness.
Use another word, self-esteem. The value of selfishness is that you esteem yourself as a value, that you live according to your nature, which means by the judgment of your own mind, and you respect your own mind, you respect your own ability to do the right thing, therefore you respect the possibility of being a morally virtuous person, and you regard yourself as a value worth preserving. To make a success of yourself in any line of rational activity is a great virtue, and people will attack you for exercising your ability, for hard work, for consistency, for ambition, and they will want to make you feel guilty of it. Mm-hmm. That is the greatest evil according to my philosophy.
And wait, say that again. The greatest evil according to your philosophy is to attack an individual because of virtue.
What I call it is to experience or act on hatred of the good for being the good. That is attacking people for their virtues, for their achievements, for anything they have which is a value, actually, not for their flaws and not for their evil. In fact, people who preach that are the ones who are mawkish about the evil people, the failures, the liars, the cheats. Everybody who is weak suddenly acquires some kind of value. But anyone who is a success has to be attacked for his success.
And look at how you have been attacked.
Oh, I know.
How you have been criticized. There are many people in this country, forgive me, in this world who think you're daft.
They don't. They want you to think that.
Using the super chat, and I noticed yesterday when I appealed for support for the show, many of you stepped forward and actually supported the show for the first time. So I'll do it again. Maybe we'll get some more today. If you like what you're hearing, if you appreciate what I'm doing, then I appreciate your support. Those of you who don't yet support the show, please take this opportunity. Go to yaronbrookshow.com/support or go to subscribestar.com, Yaron Brook Show, and make a kind of a monthly contribution to keep this going. I'm not sure when the next